Greetings, everyone. How y'all doing today? Happy Tuesday. We are in the window of a new moon. The new moon happens tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hey, J Love 97. Hi, Ashley, Tierra, and Queen Apps. I am the Moon Mama, and I am currently in the process of offering a Nodal Masterclass, which is opportunity for us to follow the nodes, the South Node through Virgo and the North Node through Pisces. And the nodes are points that are connected to the moon. The moon governs our inner world, our emotions, what's going on inside of us. That's what the moon rules, our internal, the unseen aspects of ourselves. And so as we follow the nodes of the moon, we get to um, look at the south node is our karmic patterns associated with themes of around Virgo, karmic patterns associated with things around Virgo, which is perfectionism, criticism, health, um, our ability to be of service to ourselves and others, our ability to learn from life and allow life to evolve us. So my intention here is to invite you into my practices with the hope possibility that it will inspire your own practices because we live in a we live in a reality that's not what we thought it was. It's what we were taught that it was. And so what I have discovered, in order to really relate to this reality, in order to get the best out of my experience in this reality, ritual is an important, significant key, because there are so many things that are unseen that are impacting us. And if we don't relate to the unseen, we will never get the momentum and the power and the traction necessary for us to really be ourselves. So I like to start my day with a candle. So today the moon is in Capricorn, and the color for Capricorn is black. It's also maroon, which is why I'm wearing black today. I'm not a person who really wears black, just to be really clear. I feel like, I know, like, black absorbs energy. It absorbs the environment where white reflects it. It keeps it off, right? And so look at how that dynamic plays out in our daily lives in America as Black people. We absorb all the experiences, and we are profoundly impacted by the world around us. And people who are not Black, it bounces off of them, and that's the setup here. Right? So I'm burning a black candle for clearing, because Capricorn is about our ability to be disciplined and have structures and discipline, structures, and integrity. That's what Capricorn is about. And so just giving thanks for the fire, the element of fire that allows us to burn away that which no longer serves us. Thank you, Spirit. And then I have a coal here's my hot coal. It's so hot, it's white. And I'm burning dragon's blood. Dragon's blood is a purifier, and it increases your power. And dragon's blood is a Mars herb, and today is a Mars day, and Mars is currently in Cancer. So Mars is about action. It's about moving forward. It's about momentum. It's about your will, right? So I want to honor these energies in me. So I want to honor these energies within me so that my life can be fluid. And so I honor the element of fire. I honor the element of Mars, which is also fire. And I honor Capricorn and Saturn, which is this energy that says we're going to create new structures. So when you put it all together, when you make it all one thing, it's like, okay, I'm activating my own structures today. And right now we're working with clearing energy because we are in the Capricorn season. And Capricorn is where we clear and release. And what are we clearing and releasing? Outdated ideas, outdated perspectives, ways of being that no longer serve us. We are clearing. Hold on, let me get myself my little pillow so I can sit down here. We are clearing ancestral patterns. Capricorn governs the paternal lineage and or the father, and in Greek mythology, Kronos was Capricorn, was Saturn, and Kronos was the ruler of time. And the mythology goes that Kronos ate all of his children because he didn't want them to grow up and take away his power. So he ate them. Now, here's the thing about that. When I translate that through my human perspective, it sounds horrible, right? But children are an extension of your creativity. And time, which is Kronos, which is Saturn, will eat up your creativity if you are not disciplined, if you are not focused. That's what that mythology is about, Kronos eating up his children, his creativity, because you must be focused, you must be disciplined. And we currently live in a culture that is filled with distractions, that distracts us from the very essence of who we are. So it is in the following of the nodes of the moon that we can actually get back to ourselves. And the moon, like I said, the moon is internal. And so how do we get back to ourselves? We get back to ourselves by going inside. We are having a new moon in Aquarius, but the moon is currently in Capricorn, is what I'm saying. We're having a new moon in Aquarius. The new moon comes in tonight at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time in Aquarius, but the moon is currently in Capricorn. And so we have less than 24 hours before the new moon. So and both Capricorn and Aquarius are ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the current ruler of Capricorn, and Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius. So this is about authority and integrity. And when we do this work to follow the moon, to follow the nodes of the moon, we are activating these energies within us. We're activating it within us because the moon is the internal. Now, the moon reflects the light of the sun. You will hear me say this probably every day. The moon reflects the light of the sun. So the sun is currently in Aquarius, and Aquarius is about innovation. It's about breaking free from the old ways of being and innovating yourself into another way of being. It's also about being weird and, community and friends. It's about being your authentic self. So today I was like, okay, let me be who I really want to be. I'm more lighthearted and playful, and I love dresses, and I love playing, makeup and all that sort of stuff, because as adults, we benefit from being more childlike. And in order for you to access your authenticity, like who you really are, your blueprint, you've got to lighten up. You've got to lighten up. Now that's coming from a Virgo, right? Like I can be the most rigid, conservative, uptight, and I have to really work with myself. This is why I do the rituals. I work with myself to lighten myself up, to get more free spirited, to come out of my shell, to come out of my head, to be in my body, to really allow myself to lift into another way of thinking and being, because this 3D reality is so dense. The density keeps us anchored in old ways of being that no longer serve us. And so one of the things is a great thing to do today is to do some ancestral work, like just giving thanks for the ancestors, for, maybe pouring libations for them, pouring water, thanking them for what they did to get you to this place. because you get to access something that your ancestors didn't have access to. You get to become something that wasn't available for your ancestors because you are living through an era shift. We're going from the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius. And so that is a very significant thing, to be living through an age shift. And one of the things that I have really allowed myself to accept, that there has not been one thing in my life that was a mistake. You know, as I have been in this reality where in America, where it has felt really challenging to be in a Black person's body, um, really challenging to be in a woman's body because of the way our systems are set up. But what I have discovered is that all of that was by design, that nothing is a mistake. And one of the things that I wanted to say is, because I recognize that there are a lot of things going on politically right now. And I heard some videos where they're saying that Trump cut off all of the federal services for food stamps and daycare and all manner of things, right? And my heart, I'm in deep prayer meditation for us to come together as communities to take care of ourselves and take care of one another. And I remember when I was on food stamps and, you know, in that experience, and I remember making a choice. I remember saying, I need to put myself in the conditions where I have to figure it out, where I have to discover who I am, where I have to access my own portal to abundance and prosperity. I was very clear that the ways that I allowed the government or other people to subsidize my living by borrowing money or whatever it was I was doing, I was very clear that those choices were keeping me trapped in my lower experiences of scarcity and fear and not having enough. And that if this is an abundant universe, that I was going to need to put myself in an experience where I was going to place myself in an experience where I was going to demand from myself to become who I'm meant to be. So I started telling my friends who I was close to, who would often loan me money. They wouldn't even loan me money. They would just give me money. I have friends who would, what's going on, Monique? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna pay my rent, and they would just give me money. Give me $5,000. Give me, like, it was a real thing. And while that was helpful on some way, it was also a prison, because them giving to me didn't give me the opportunity to really have to go, how do I create new solutions? Like, it didn't put me in a situation where I had to resource my own creativity, my own gifts, my own perspectives, my own genius. Every time they gave me something, it slowed down my momentum towards becoming myself. So, my prayer for every person who is impacted by what's shifting in our government and in our world is that they have the courage, that there's someone or something divine or magical that touches them to begin to resource themselves and to know that the universe is abundant if you are willing to demand that it show up through you. It has to show up through you. Like I was saying, Aquarius is the future. It's about innovation. And there is, if you are here alive on the planet right now, you have something in you to offer. You have something in you. And all you need to do is turn inside of yourself and ask, what am I here for? Who am I? What am I here to be and do? And the challenge is that you might have a momentum in place of hustling or you know, like of scarcity. So that momentum has to That momentum has to be subdued in order for the true, authentic self to rise. So you'll have to listen. You'll have to, you know, go to your edge. You'll have to feel the discomfort. You'll have to stretch. You'll have to push yourself out of what is comfortable. But if you are willing to do it, something will present. Every single time I have done it, every single time I have done it, the universe shows up and comes right to me. I never hit the ground. I never crash. It doesn't mean I don't get uncomfortable. It doesn't mean that I don't have to face my fears, but I'm always met. Yes. And so I just really know that it's possible. And so I encourage you all to share this video. If you know people who are going through stuff around what's happening in the government right now, send this video to them. And this new moon energy is very powerful because we are totally coming into a new experience of the age of Aquarius. And the thing that is most significant right now is for people to really learn to be themselves and to understand that there is a force, an intelligent, living, invisible force that is animating reality, that is animating you. It is a consciousness. And if you are willing to trust it, if you are willing to get interested in it, if you are willing to just take a chance, you know what I mean? You don't even have to fucking fully believe. You don't. You don't. If you just say, I don't really believe, but I believe a little bit, it'll show up in that little bit and take up all that little bit of space that you are, and it will lead you to more. It will lead you to more. And the key is understanding that it is within you. It is all within you. The external reality is an illusion. Everything we see with our eyes has come from inside of us. So that means that there is more within you than there is outside of you. And all you get to do is ask, what is within me for this experience, whatever experience you're going through, whatever it is, what is within me for this experience? And as you question, you will be, your life will, like somebody will call you and say, hey, do you need such and such and such? I remember one time I used to, my son, when he was very little, he was a very picky eater. Oh gosh. If I have any regrets around parenting, it would be that I didn't, that I really allowed my son to be a picky eater as a young child. Like I didn't push. And but I was still giving him healthy things, and I used to give him fruit smoothies every morning, which was a healthy thing. And and so one night before he was going to bed, he said, Mommy, can I have a fruit smoothie? And I literally only had enough for one smoothie. So if I gave him the smoothie that night, that meant we wouldn't have what we needed for the morning because he had fruit smoothies for breakfast. And this is during the time when I was really going through it financially. So I had food stamps and welfare and all that sort of stuff going on. And so he was hungry, and I was just like, oh shit, what am I going to do? And so I just started to make him the smoothie, thinking, what am I going to do? And I made him the smoothie. I handed it to him, and my phone, a text comes through my phone, and it was a girlfriend of mine. Her name is Erin Anova, in the case that she's listening to this. And she said, hey, I'm at Whole Foods. You need anything? I was like, Lord, Lord, Lord. I was like, yes. I need some almond milk, and I need strawberries, blueberries, and whatever else. And she's like, okay. And she brought it to me within the hour. And so I had what I needed for my son the next morning. And this is my point. If you are willing to lean into your experience fully, even if it looks like scarcity or lack, or just lean into it and trust it and know that it will deliver you to something. Lean in it with your fear. Go, I'm fucking scared to do this, and shake and tremble and cry and ask what is on the other side of it. You will be delivered to something. It's, I promise. And I really want, like, I want you all to do it. I want you to do it, and then I want you to send me a private message of what happened, or write here what happened, because I guarantee you the universe is alive and it wants to fulfill itself through you. It desires to fulfill itself through you, but you have to be willing to allow it. And the thing that I can see now, looking back in my own journey, is that that was a trick, is that the ego, the mind is so comparing and, you know, fear and history, and you cannot trust that at all. You cannot trust your egoic structures. So it's literally a step of faith. It's like you're stepping into your faith by saying, what else is possible here? What is it that I'm not seeing? What's available that I haven't considered yet? And in doing that, the universe will show up through you. So the nodes of the moon are, the south node is where we have our karma. So we are going through the south node of Virgo. So right now we are looking at our karma in regards to the ways that we judge ourselves for who we truly are, the ways that we find things that we don't like about ourselves because we want to fit in and belong, the ways that we shrink back because others might not understand or appreciate. These are the ways that we now get to appreciate ourselves. So for me personally, I have always been someone who just could see what no one else could see. I could see the invisible, and because others didn't see it, I just stopped listening to it. I just stopped. I just was like, people are going to think I'm weird. As a child, right? So as a child, I was sort of condemned for it, because if someone was not telling the truth, I would say that they're not telling the truth because I didn't understand that they were trying to hide something. You know, so I might say, mommy, that's not really what happened. Remember that man? He was trying to rub on you and kiss you. And my mother would be, you know, she would be angry because I was saying something that she didn't want to be out. And I didn't understand that. And so I got chastised for saying what I really saw and what was really happening. And then I learned to put it away. So now that has become a karmic pattern. That has become something where I've judged myself, or I have, you know, made myself feel bad. So I am doing the work to come into deeper acceptance of my gift, my power, and healing. That's the karmic part. That's Virgo. It's like, you know, practical ways that I can reignite this energy in my life. Now, the Dharma, which is what we are moving towards, we're in our evolutionary experience of Dharma, is in Pisces. And so that is the ability to listen to the imagination, the ability to tap into the ancestral realm, the spirit realm, but it's also delusion. It's also addictions. It's also avoidance. So I can see the polarity in my own experience. So I used to avoid knowing the spiritual experience because people didn't want to see it. Like I wouldn't say it because they didn't want to see it. I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to not be liked. I remember once I had a dream that a woman that I was friends with was in the bed on white sheets, and she was bleeding out, like her period was, and the sheets were just covered with blood. And in the dream, I was aware that something was going on between she and her husband. And I didn't tell her because I was like too afraid to tell her. And then a few months later, she was pregnant and she lost some twins. She was pregnant with twins and she lost them because her husband had had an affair. And I had dreamed it. Um, that was many, many, many years ago when I was in my 20s. But then there was a time not so long ago, like in the last 4 or 5 years, where I had a friend who was really lonely. Like she really wanted to be in a relationship. And she met somebody and was really excited. And I was visiting her, I was at her house. And I noticed that her cat was afraid of this man. He was there. And I noticed that the cat, there was something going on between he and the cat. And I was like, oh, that's very interesting. And it was almost like he had a little energetic demon or something, and the cat could see it. And then I saw the cat, and then I was like, oh, something's going on. But I didn't go and tell her because she was so happy that he was there. I didn't tell her because she was so happy he was there. And a few months later, he was arrested for molesting a young girl. And it was something that he had done long before he met her. And the cat picked it up. And I saw the cat pick it up. And so I am in this process now of really owning the dimension in the realm that I see clearly in. I'm no longer resisting it. I'm no longer denying it. I'm no longer judging myself for it. This is the energy of the South Node in Virgo and the North Node in Pisces. And as I open up into it, because Virgo is about health, my health and my body and all of that will improve because I'm meant to function this way. I'm meant to function by seeing the sublime, the subliminal, the subconscious. That's how I'm meant to function. And all of us are meant to function in certain ways that we have put away to belong to this reality. And as we're coming to the new moon in Aquarius, we are now coming back to ourselves. So, do you have areas in your life where you have subdued, suppressed, denied that are really your natural ways of functioning, but you have not cultivated it because it wasn't appropriate, or you were shamed for it, or you didn't fit in or didn't belong? Am I making sense? Yeah? No? Hearts? Something? Okay. So if not, just okay, hearts. Okay, great. So today, as we are completing, this was my experience in childhood too. I could speak to plants and animals. This gift has. Yes, exactly. Yes, full circle wellness. That's right. Because what's happening is we are being invited to come back into who we really are. And what I want people to know, which is a hard thing to get when you are in a mindset of scarcity, these systems in this country called the United States of America have trapped our energies. These systems of looking for, like looking for approval. Like, I'll speak as a black person. As a black person, it's like we want them to acknowledge what they've done. We want them to pay us reparations. We want them to, you know, create laws and things that protect us. While that while I understand that, but those things trap us into these constructs of limitation, because the experiences are actually there to grow us, to force us out of our comfort zones and into new ways of being. So while I am feeling a profound sense of empathy for people who are going to be impacted by this federal block of resources, I also know that there is a force inside of you that is greater than anything that the government can do for you. And all you need to do is be curious about it. All you need to do is demand from the aspects within yourself to see it in a new way. All you need to do is believe that there is something greater than you and ask it. Call upon the thing that is greater than you, that is within you, for whatever you need. And be patient, be gentle and patient. It's not something you can force. The forcing, the attempt to force it collapses it and disables it. But if you can just get into it with softness, with breathing, with subtle desire to be yourself, it will, like a tide, like surfers, right? How you see them. I'm somebody who's spent a lot of time on the ocean on a surfboard being thrown off. It's the way of it for me. But there is something that happens when you're waiting and you feel the swell of the water. And when you feel the swell and you get yourself ready, it'll take you. And that's why I'm saying this is subtle. This is subtle energy. And if you can seduce it, like literally feel it, and like love yourself, literally breathe with it, it will come like the swell of the ocean, and it will take you. It will take you into another frequency within yourself. Now, many of us are so hard and so external and so mental that we can't recognize this energy, but there are things you can do to help yourself recognize these energies and these feelings. Cold showers, get yourself uncomfortable. Get yourself out of your comfort zone so you can feel the tremble of energy and you will become attuned to it. If you get yourself in experiences that are safe but uncomfortable, you will feel the rise of the energy and it will ignite with you. It's in you, it's already there. You just need to bring your attention to it. So, with that, I feel motivated, inspired to do a little bit of sacred practice. Oh my goodness. That sunlight is amazing. Thank you, Spirit. So the sun is in Aquarius. Um, this node, this nodal shift. I'm sorry. This new moon in Aquarius tonight at 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is happening at the ninth degree of Aquarius, and the ninth degree is ruled by Sagittarius, which is about faith, about your ability to believe, which is such an interesting thing because belief comes before knowing. And Aquarius is knowing. Aquarius means I know. Like nobody has to, you know your name, you know it, right? And you can also know what you're capable of. You can know your gifts, you can know your connection, you can know it where you're the way you know your name. The way you know your name, you can know your connection with the invisible. It can be as solid as you knowing your name. And that is what we're up to. We're up to being in our state of knowing, having enough faith that it will lift us into another state of consciousness. So let's just come into a seated position if you're not already seated. And we're going to just begin to breathe. Breathe in through the nose, deep into the belly, and out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, and empty all the air. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. So you just continue this breathing pattern. Heavenly Father, Mother God, divine force, seen and unseen, the universal presence that is everywhere at all times within all things, the force of consciousness that abides within and without, that animates all that is. I am so grateful to know, to appreciate, to be related to the force of the unseen, to know that I am one with it, that there is nothing in me that can separate myself from the force that beats my heart, that breathes, that moves the sun through our solar system and the moon around the sun, that pulls the tides, that tilts the earth on its axis. This very same force is the force that beats my heart, is the force that beats the hearts of each and every person who is within the sound of my voice, the force that runs the blood through our veins, the force that ignites the spirit within us to be who we are born to be. This is the very same force that sprinkles the stars across the sky and moves the tides through every ocean and erects mountains. This is the very same force that moves the blood through your veins and beats your heart and thinks your thoughts and feels your system. The very same force is the consciousness of the universe, the divine mother and father within the one. I am the one. Say, I am the one. I am the one that experiences the force and the source of the universe. I am the magic. I am the power. I am the source. I am the healing. I am the one. Allow yourself to feel the essence and the energy of the I am presence within you, beating your heart, breathing you, thinking you, animating you. The force of the universe that rotates the earth around the sun is the force that is breathing and beating and living itself through you. Breathe in. I am the one. Release. And so I just speak this word today, trusting and knowing in this unified field of consciousness that there is only one thing happening, and that is the consciousness of the divine mother and father through, in, and as me and each and every one of us who is within the sound of my voice. I trust and know that every need that we have is met within and without, that we are the experience of abundance, of love, of joy, that we are capable of facing the obstacles that show up in our lives with enthusiasm, with faith. And so I trust and know that the old reality is collapsing fiercely and powerfully as the new reality is erecting through us. We are willing, we are able, we are capable, we are yes, yes, yes. And in this yes, a new reality emerges the way a babe's head emerges from the cracks of a mother's hips and breaks free into a new experience of life. Your life is being born right now. It is being born through you. Your future is being born right now. It is being born through your willingness to be renewed, to be lifted up, to be experienced as the force of God, the very force that is rotating the earth around the sun through the whole solar system. You are a part of that. Say yes. Yes. Yes, allow the consciousness of the universe to be permeated through you. 37 trillion cells activated in one intention to be you, God as you, Christ as you. Say, yes, I am the thing itself. And I release and let go of all that no longer serves me. I give thanks for my ancestors, each one who has come before me and express their life force so that I can be here now as an expression of the most high creative force of universe through me. Yes. And for this and so much more, I give thanks, letting it be that I am the one. Say, I am the one. Hold it in your heart. Hold it in your soul. Hold it in your body. I am the one. And there is no one above and no one below. The one that is the one that is the one in all ways. For this and so much more, I give thanks, I let it be, and I say, and so it is. Ashe. All right, you all. I love y'all so very much. Have a really beautiful day today. The energy is a little intense, so be in your practices, breathe, love yourself, hug yourself, nurture yourself, and we will come on the other side of this as the new moon passes through this portal. We're all passing through a very beautiful portal. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.